I'm Deb, founder of Hold Hearing Out Life Drama. I'm often asked, how did you come up with this business? What's your story? I'm 52, so I usually ask if they want the long or the short version. My mom says I should really just keep it simple and say only, got a problem? I'll listen. That is the short version. The long version is, I watched my parents miss each other in communication often. This created a very strong desire in me to learn a different way. As a result, I went to college. I was the first person in my family to do so. While I was in college, I felt a strong call to help people, and I believed that was going to be through the church. I continued my education, going to seminary, and got a specialization in care and counseling. I was working full time, and I was 3 years in serving churches, and colleagues of mine were being put on church trial. They were losing their pensions, their ministerial credentials, everything they'd worked for because of the LGBTQ plus issues. Around the same time, a family member came out to me, and I knew that if they ever asked me to marry them, my answer would of course be yes, and the same would be true of a congregant. So I walked away from the church. My daughter was about 1 at this point. We had discovered when I was pregnant with her that my husband had the same genetic condition that his 2 siblings had died of in childhood. That had also created a lot of upheaval, and so I focused on mothering. When our daughter was 3, my husband got sick and almost died. He wanted another child, and after all that, I wasn't sure I did. We asked the doctor what we could expect going forward, and she said, you could walk out of here today and get hit by a bus. You can live in fear or in hope. It was very powerful. We had our son. In 2011, my husband became critically ill, and for the next 8 years, I found myself in an intensive caregiving situation. It's a lot harder to pretend it wasn't when he was released directly from the intensive care unit back to our home. I was determined that he was going to live. I felt he had so much to teach our children. I believe he had a purpose in the world. I coordinated with all the doctors, and eventually we found a drug that worked. He got better. But there'd been a lot of trauma throughout the course of his illness, so we went to couples counseling. The marriage didn't make it, and after 25 years we divorced. I was working at a funeral home at this time, and I loved that job. I would have stayed there, except that the owners came to us one day and said they were changing the compensation package that we had, and we were no longer getting a cash bonus, but a $25 gift card for the pre-needs that we sold. One day I was folding my laundry, and I thought, if I could do anything right now with my life, what is it that I really want to do? And what came was, what if I listen? And I knew it was right. I reached out the very next day to my business partner, Linda Nielsen, and I asked her if she wanted to come build this with me. It initially started only with the confidential listening service, but then as I talked to people about the business, I heard over and over, ooh, I'd like to learn how to do what you do. I realized that I absolutely could teach people this skill in their personal and professional lives, and so Hold Business Solutions was also born. Listening is a life skill, an essential skill. It is the foundation of any relationship, personal or professional. So that's my drama that makes me uniquely qualified to hold yours. It's what makes me exceptional at helping you be exceptional, both at work and at home.